There we go. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Bill's probably like, are you bringing me in? Welcome back. I'm hitting buttons, bro, and it's not going. Welcome back, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans right here on the YouTube and the Twitch and wherever you folks get your podcast audio worldwide. We're doing a special Wednesday night show, folks, because, well, we just couldn't wait till tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of little news bits, news thingies.
Big news, J-Bone.
Yeah, there's little news, there's sad news, there's really great news, there's all sorts of stuff going on. And we're going to cover it all tonight, kind of get a head start on tomorrow, just because, hey, we're a week and a day away from the AMC debut of
and as Mayor's saying, the Final Access show tomorrow, and then the AMC live debut the following week.
Yes, yeah, super stoked about that. And we're hearing little things here and there about certain people being free agents, so it just adds up the excitement.
Sneaking suspicion on there could be some names.
I think there's a good possibility of a few names showing up on that first AMC show, and
the AMC and maybe even Genesis, maybe a mix of both. But no, I think you could see a return or two. I think you could see a big name, maybe the biggest free agent that's out there. Who knows?
But yeah, so
maybe breaking down a wall, crossing the line.
Man, that would be something else. I know everyone just assumes, and well, we hate to assume, Bill.
Well, until he shows up there first, I think if it goes in the next week, if he's not on anything through next Monday, I'm thinking he's there Thursday.
It could be. I mean, they dropped a lot of hints.
He's going to be there at some point, but he's not there yet. So
a lot of people were expecting Jericho on Monday night.
Nothing.
I was watching so patiently, and we got.
You were on the upside down, J-Bone.
Oh, I will say, but before we get into all the TNA stuff, that was as much as people probably crapped on it because there was no Jericho, there was plenty of hints throughout the show that he is going to show up sometime soon. Little Easter eggs, commentary, roster members doing Jericho signature moves in the ring that they don't normally do. All sorts of little things, and it was a lot of fun. I'm a huge fan of the Stranger Things series. Bummer to see it go, but I feel like the last season that they put out over the course of this, this holiday season, amazing job. And the fact that WWE.
Wait, this isn't the 9th episode?
No.
If you're tuning in here for the 9th episode of Stranger Things, it ain't it.
We're in it, Bill. We're
in the upside down.
Where's the Jeremy and the Vecna and the Demogorgons and the
my Flayer.
My Flayer.
Well, you know what? I think that might be the nickname of some of the dirt sheet writers. I think they're mind flayers.
Yeah.
Mouth breathers, right, J-Bone?
Oh, absolutely. You could definitely associate a few of them with a Demogorgon or two. But yeah, anything's possible in the worlds of professional wrestling. That's what makes it fun. We like to predict a lot of it, and some of it is predictable. But man, when we do get those surprises, we just eat them up like Cocoa Puffs on a Saturday morning watching cartoon.
All right, so J-Bone was going cuckoo.
Oh, yeah, I've been a little cuckoo lately. Let me tell you, I'm not cuckoo for COVID anymore. Jiminy Christmas, get that stuff out of here. Exit.
It's all well rested with his Coca-Cola, his classic. Can't beat the real thing.
It is, well, it's a classic zero.
Okay, well that's same thing, J-Bone. They got the market on the. I'll give credit. Like Mountain Dew is able to kind of do their sugar-free, pretty much the same flavor.
Yeah.
But yes, they are. The Coke Zero is the pinnacle of the 0-calorie soda replacement.
I'm gonna agree with you, but I'm gonna throw in an honorable mention that it should always be mentioned when you put it in there for tasty sodas that taste like their doppelganger sugar-free ones is the Baja. Tastes amazing either way.
Well, it would be the same thing. It's the Mountain Dew principles of Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
can get covered up, like the flavor gets masked, because the whole thing is you're tasting those artificial sweeteners.
Yeah,
and like dyes. That's why Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke don't taste anything like their counterparts.
Right. I can't, like, I'll always drink a regular Coke, but I prefer the Coke Zero because of the calories. But I hate Diet Coke. Like, my wife will drink it.
But it's a whole different drink. It's not a Coke. It's a Diet Coke.
It's not. It's to me, it's hot garbage.
It's pretending to be Coke.
Don't tell my wife that.
I heard that.
Oh, she heard that shit. Yeah, sorry, babe.
Talking your smack on Diet Coke.
But yeah. Anyways, let's get into some wrestling.
Wrestling. A little news.
Bonus Baby says some Stranger Things. He's only 4 episodes into season 1. Oh well, hey man, you're in for a hell of a ride. Enjoy it, because I think the whole series, top to bottom, has been amazing. Watching these kids grow up over the course of the last 10 years. It's been about 10 years, hasn't it? At least
just under. Yeah.
It's been amazing, and we as consumers of entertainment, we don't get to do that much, because everything after a season or half a season or a first episode gets canceled. There's not many that they can stand the test of time. Walking Dead is another great example of that. Watching the characters evolve, the kids grow up. But yeah, and wrestling's like that too. Watching our favorites, your favorites, his favorites, her favorites, all evolve over the course of the years, and watching the business change. It's upsetting at times, because you get to love certain members of the roster, you get attached to them, they become your favorites. You get their action figures, you get the posters, all that stuff. You meet them, and then they leave. But then you get new people, and we're going to talk about that tonight. So,
comings and goings.
It always happens. So, what are we going to talk about first, Bill?
Oh, dealer's choice. There's a lot to discuss. Do you want to go on roster moves, or do you want to go the main event from last night?
We'll save that for last.
All right,
because I'm sure there's some different opinions out there of that. So I'm going to just let that one simmer.
All right, so we'll let that simmer. So
let's talk about the biggest name that probably left the TNA roster actually a week ago now.
Correct.
Mr. Zack Ryder, a.k.a. Matt Cardona, is officially re-signed with WWE.
Yeah, but not as Zack Ryder, as
he is Matt Cardona. Yeah. So that's actually, it's cool to see, because he put a lot of hard work on building his own brand over the last 5 years since he's been
I think
gone from
even longer than
WWE.
that. Heck, I feel like he's been gone. Phew. He
I'm pretty sure it's been about 5 years.
He did the indie thing, like pretty much. He gave the blueprint. Like if you get released, what like how to kind of go into business for yourself on the indies. But you could say before, like AJ was a good blueprint, but he did a lot of like Japan and stuff. And then the same thing with the Young Bucks. Like those guys were kind of very innovative on the indie scene for what they were doing. Like focus on the merch, lots of bookings. But he really got he got himself over as Matt Cardona. He didn't have to rely on Zack Ryder. So for them to bring him back as not his character says a lot. So I give him a ton of credit. Like that is, and obviously all the side projects he was doing, which I'm assuming Myers is going to take the lead on a lot of that. But no, good. Kudos.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Cardona does, like, because so many times we've seen like, okay, so and so was a part of. We'll just throw examples. So and so was a part of TNA. They built an online social media presence. They built a brand for themselves, sold a lot of merch for themselves, and were able to start, we'll just say said projects, outside of wrestling. Well, then what do you know? They get signed with the WWE, and everything they had on their plate that they've been working so hard on as part of building their brand and everything around it has to get put to the side, and that can be upsetting. That could be, for fans and for the individual, he or she. And, but it'll be interesting to see if Matt Cardona is able to keep going with his podcast and some of the brand stuff that he's done with Myers, making action figures and stuff like that. Or like you said, is Myers just going to take that over, and maybe Cardona will be like not such a front and center figure of it. Maybe he'll be more behind the scenes so he can still be a part of it, but not get in trouble for it or something. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like, it'll be very much different. I know CJ here saying Cardona still has a major podcast and toy company ownership. Everything else outside of already contracted figures is gone for now. So, but I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure Myers will be taking more of a lead on a lot of that stuff. And obviously there's some other people involved. So I'm sure they'll still be doing stuff. But definitely, because we've already seen, I know he's already, like there was the match he was going to have with Mike Santana up in New York over the weekend. So he's been obviously putting out his video statements of relinquishing the titles that he had on the indie scene.
Yeah. Well, what's also interesting is he just showed up he's been a part of the NWA.
Yeah, it just aired. Like a lot of bro, JCW. Like pretty much it was the night before it aired.
Yeah.
Bro.
What? There she is. Hi. What you doing? You come to say hi?
It's always time for a cat on a TNA news show.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It brings the cats out.
She needs her papas. So okay. So what the hell?
I guess she does not agree with the Matt Cardona.
I guess she's like, what? Matt Cardona's gone? Psh, I'm out of here.
That's a Cardona fan right there.
Zack Ryder for life, bitches. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
So, but yeah, I celebrate him going back to WWE. I'm very excited to see what he can do. Maybe do some fun stuff alongside of his real life wife, Chelsea Green. It's kind of a
Really?
bummer though. It's kind of a bummer though that she lost the title the same night. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, you get your husband to work with you, but we're going to take your title from you. Wait, what? I don't know how that works, but anyways, that's the business. You just kind of go with the flow. So okay, so that's
nice run. He gave us a nice run.
He did. He did. He was a great. He honestly was a great part of TNA. He everything he became a part of, he represented it well. Whether it was being the hardcore icon on the indies or what was it? What did he call it?
Indie God.
The indie God, the Deathmatch King.
Deathmatch King. And
yeah.
Right.
He did all that. He did it well. He did it great. So, but hey, there is still the WWE TNA partnership. So look,
well, speaking of J-Bone, we can, before we get into another departure, we can go with a return. As the Hardys are doing their media swarm down in Texas for the upcoming shows, they gave a little nugget on something happening. And that is the return of a former world champion at Genesis, a current member of WWE.
Oh boy.
You're wondering, could it be? We've been waiting. But say his name, J-Bone. Joe Hendry's coming back.
And he'll appear?
He'll appear. He's appeared.
Say his name.
So the return of Joe Hendry at Genesis. The partnership continues. So just once again, just showing how good the relationship is. And that will obviously be our story later as we talk about New Year's Evil with the partnership.
Looks like, okay. So one of the names that we are going to talk about, apparently he already showed up on Dynamite tonight.
Well,
that's what
yes.
Trent is saying. That's interesting. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's why we're gonna say it now on the show, because it already happened. Well, they debuted him on social media, not on TV.
Oh, is that what it was?
Then he aired later on TV.
Okay. All right. So we were talking about Cardona. Do you want to go to?
Well, we'll go with the other who left. Then we talked about Joe Hendry's return, but now let's go with the other. Won't see him no more.
Mr. Jake something is
formerly Jake Diener as well.
Jake, yeah, with the top. Always remember him as Top Hat. That was always
the Top Hat. That was another character. We gotta be careful here. There's multiple characters here.
Oh yeah. Well, what was the Top Hat one when they were like singing and dancing? What the hell was that?
Him and Cody Diener. I think the actual name for each of them. That's asking something there, J-Bone.
That's a deep cut.
That is a deep cut.
I can picture it, and it just makes me laugh.
Oh, it was very well produced.
It was. It was it was before Jake something actually became Jake something on TNA Impact.
Yeah, it was cousin Jake still normally, but in the
or,
old days,
or Jake
the
Diener,
IPWF, good old Jake Diener.
Yeah, however they refer to him. But anyways,
Harry Hall.
Harry Hall. Wow, that is
he was. I believe he was Harry Hall.
Okay. So, but Jake something gone actually for the second time from TNA now. We wish him best, I always
the hard workers.
Yeah, I met him, fun guy. I always kind of wanted something more for him, but
Well, this is deep dives in the TNI archives talking about Jake and the deconstruction of Jake something,
yeah,
like character wise.
yeah,
And I know that's going to be a hot topic because it's like that's Jake's always been kind of at the forefront of like the TNA fandom on like discussion boards, the internet, like about like creative and Jake something on like why it hasn't done more because there's a lot of it felt like most of his career, both runs are stop or like there's like they go like there's movement, then stop, movement,
right,
stop, movement, stop.
yeah,
And it's like, well, what's the reasoning on all that? And I think it's just like any persona in wrestling. It's very complex. There's a lot of reasons for things. And you look at what works and doesn't work. And I think definitely in ring, there's a lot that works with Jake. I think
oh
that's
yeah,
always been the case in ring. It's always been getting the reaction. And
yeah,
at times he's gotten the reaction. But then a lot of times he doesn't get the reaction. And it's tough to
right,
kind of pinpoint exactly what that is.
yeah,
And then, yeah, I here we go. Like definitely, especially when he had that one haircut, he looked a lot like Hercules Hernandez.
oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it's like I
With the
remember,
shorter hair as opposed to the
yeah,
longer hair, yeah, yeah,
yeah. Like I remember, like in Philly at the ECW arena, the 2300, where like he was kind of like healing it up one time, and like the crowd was going after like good reaction. And then there's other times with good reaction, and like I was talking to some people earlier. I thought his last like kind of really could do something was when him and Hammerstone were a tag team. Two meatheads, like to just beating on people, doing some light comedy. Like I think that could have worked, but then Hammerstone got hurt, sick, was not around, and it kind of killed that tag team. I know, like they teased him briefly with Kaz. The only thing with that I'll say is you kind of had the Agent Zero, Special Agent Zero character, so like another bodyguard thing. I think you can't have more than one. So I think that's why. I think the push for Special Agent Zero is why that kind of went away.
yeah,
But it's tough. Like I can't put it like I'm not gonna say like that's an all creative thing because they've tried a few different things. It just didn't hit.
yeah,
You never know. You catch lightning in a bottle. Like they never tried him with a manager. That could have been something. But yeah, it's just and maybe it is just another company. Like and wish them well, but it's like yeah, like the thing is, it's one of those things where like I think it was more him wanting to leave. Like I think they were still wanting to work because you look, it wasn't long ago he was still getting some wins. It wasn't like they were like just playing out the deck and just finish up on your contract. Like they were still, I think, trying to make it work. So I think they still saw some potential, but you never know. Like sometimes it takes a while and someone just, you hit it in a way. Because now, once again, it was a similar character. Joe Hendry had his first TNA run years ago. Not everybody even remembers he was here that first time.
yeah,
I do. I enjoyed a lot of his stuff back then, but it was much different that other go around. So you never know. And that's like, once again, like hopefully it can work out because like I do like I said, I think in ring, he's got all the tools. It's just reactions from the crowd and stuff. Like it's just the character that you need to get over. And not a knock on the promotion he went to. They don't care as much about that. They
yeah,
just care about matches. So maybe that is the best place for him. Just putting on great matches and the fan base will love it.
yeah. And look, and I think another part of it is who has been behind the scenes over the course of the last couple years. with people coming in and going out of the TNA brand.
Yeah, and they all kind of give like their spin on how to use Jake, because it's been a lot of people now. A lot of cooks have had their chance to work with Jake, but
And
just none never really worked out for anything long term. Like you'd have a brief little run, but then it would be like, and you see this in a lot of companies, like resulting in a title shot. Like I thought, like when they leaned into X Division, that was also a dynamic that could work. You just had to fine tune it a little bit. Because it kind of had those Brian Cage vibes a little bit, and that was obviously successful. But they just couldn't get there. Yeah. Like maybe they could under like the new AMC deal, because I think that's where character you're seeing more. Like they're really AMC. I've noticed the past couple of days are really promoting a lot of the characters, the individuals of TNA. Yeah. And I think that's something that's going to make or break some people. And I think that could help. That could have helped make maybe Jake. But it's going to be one of those you never knows.
Well, and AMC is such a character-based network. I mean, they went when I was growing up, all it was American movie classics. And no one refers to them anymore as American movie classics. It's just AMC. And when you think of AMC now, you think of The Walking Dead. You think of what are some of the other? I haven't watched some of the other series that have been on there.
Of course, all the classics, like current ones,
like Breaking Bad, of course.
Yeah, Breaking Bad, Mad Men,
Men,
the classics.
It wasn't Prestige. There a Live Wire or something like that, or am I thinking of a different one?
You might be, if you're thinking The Wire, you're thinking HBO.
With HBO, okay. But there's
AMC got away with a good amount with like Breaking Bad and some of these other shows, but yeah, they wouldn't be able to get away with what The Wire got away with.
Okay, yeah,
it's a little too risque.
Okay,
they went there,
but like the Talamascus, what they've done with the whole vampire series, the Anne Rice series. And then doing the witches, the Talamascus, that's been interesting. I've watched some of it, not all of it, but some of it. And it's the vampire side of it is probably my favorite of it. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, the Interview with a Vampire, that's a lot of fun. And the next part of that series is going to be coming out later this year. So yeah, AMC is definitely built on a lot of character-based series. Like when you think of a series, you think of, oh, this guy did this. You think of, we joked about when we found out AMC was gonna, get TNA. We joked about the Breaking Bad characters. Like, hey, let them cook. It's like, okay, well, maybe not. They're not going to say that live, but
come on, Pinkman, we need you, Pinkman.
Yeah, Pinkman and
just have Pinkman come out and be like, "This is Impact, bitch."
Yeah, bitch. Oh my god, I gotta watch that series over again. His character is great. But yeah, AMC has done some really good stuff with television. And now they're entering the world of we'll call it wrestling. You can call it sports entertainment. You can call it whatever you want. Mm-hmm. It's a whole new chapter that they're diving into because they've never touched sports before. They never played baseball, football, tennis, soccer, anything. They've never covered any of it before. So this is a first. So this is really, they're breaking new ground here, and it's exciting. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So yeah. So Jake something no longer with TNA, debuted tonight on AEW. Excuse me. And I'm gonna actually check that out because I'm just curious to see what they're doing with them. And I know some of the former TNA guys are doing okay. Like Kevin Knight's doing okay over there.
Well, I think that's who he took out. He took out Kevin Knight in Speedball.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Off screen. Well, and he's tagging. It looks like he's partnering up with Kyle Fletcher's old partner.
Okay, so he's part of the Don Callis crew.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's part. Yeah, he's part of Don Callis' crew.
Okay, the ever evolving Don Callis crew. Well, they just lost Kenny Omega, so I don't know. That doesn't seem like that evened out much. But I'm kidding. That's a knock on Jake something. I just kidding.
Settle down, J-Bone.
We'll trade you an Omega for something. I don't know.
Jake Doyle. Forget Jake something. He's Jake Doyle. His real name.
Doyle. They're calling him Doyle.
That's his real name.
Oh, that's his real.
Shoot.
His government given name. Okay.
Government name.
Well, yeah, it is interesting.
And critical thing, yeah, I think that's kind of how you can look at it. They essentially traded Jake for Bear Bronson. I don't disagree because I feel like Bear Bronson's kind of falling in to the role Jake probably had.
Like kind of a powerhouse, ish. Yeah.
Not saying you can't have more than one, but it's tough to feature a lot.
Yeah, like when I first saw Bear Bronson, the first thing I thought of was Rhino. Just looks wise, not even thinking about like what his talents are. But his match with Kazarian was fun, So it looks like he's joining. I don't know if is he on the roster page yet?
Yeah, they've announced that he's already signed, so I'm sure.
I know I always talk about the roster page. Well, look, Jake is still on the roster page for crying out loud.
We'll be there until probably after
AMC. So. Give it a couple of days. But like Matt's gone. So.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that was like, see you later.
Yeah.
See you later.
Later, Gator. All right. So we talked about Jake something. Let's talk about another new signing that's really I think it's really exciting because I haven't seen a lot from this kid, but I think he's got a lot of potential. And I know people are comparing him, to I almost said Jake something. No, not Jake something. Was it Jake? No.
What are you talking about?
Not Jake Paul.
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. Excuse me. Logan Paul. All these names. Being compared to Logan Paul, which, you can love it or you can hate it. I'm a big fan of Logan Paul. I hated him when he first came into the WWE just because of everything he stood for with the YouTube, the controversy behind him. But I feel like he's really proven himself as an athlete, and I see the hard work that he has put in, and the progress that he made is phenomenal. I'll say it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It really
we're getting another guy that came from content creation, YouTube, all that type of stuff, but without the baggage.
Right. Yeah. This is like
a wholesome version.
a clean slate kid. BDE has signed.
Brandon does everything.
Brandon does. Thank you for reminding me that Brandon does everything.
Yeah.
Brandon does everything. So yeah, and so he's been featured a few times since Bound for Glory?
Yes.
He was part of the
Gauntlet.
Thank you. The Gauntlet. I should say the multi-man. Look, the brain fog that comes with COVID is fucking horrible. Okay, I'll just come up.
Once again, J-Bone, and I know you're a fan of, once again, who's the guy that helped put him over coming in? It's all about that money.
Oh,
AJ Francis.
Yeah.
Just call him the star maker.
Well, yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, because that was even on social media before the pay-per-view, right? Then wasn't there like a behind the scenes promo that
Well,
they
yeah,
cut
they were
together or
doing
something?
stuff. Yeah, they were doing stuff like with the penthouse and all that.
Right.
But obviously this actually came from their feud, like was in Revolver as well.
Oh, okay. See, and that I'm not privy to. I know some of the stuff that happens. Like I know like Ace Austin was champ for the longest time, and then I don't know where it went from there. But
Here, and just because
oh,
one of our
Byron, Jiminy Christmas,
Myron Reed.
Myron Reed is now the Revolver champ. That much
There
I
you
know.
go, Jay. But John Palmer saying this is an unexpected episode. I'm glad that I woke up to pee. There you go. So if you're going up to pee and catch the TNI show, we're here for you. We're the everyone talks about pee breaks in wrestling. We're the pee breaks for people.
Oh, Jiminy
We'll
Christmas, Bill.
We'll take it.
We'll call it Bowel Movement Wednesday. Hey, yeah. What else are you going to do while you're sitting there doing your stuff? Turn on some TNI.
We'll keep you company anywhere.
We're watching. I'm kidding.
Oh, and there we go. Gary here. BDE went around the ring with Gia on Explosion.
Oh, now there's a great chance to get to know him a little better, because Gia's good at that. Those behind the scenes things I love those, little pull back of the curtain,
We gotta get J-Bone back in on Explosion.
I really do.
The old TNI weekly program where we actually did all Explosion review. And
yeah,
Q&A. Those veterans that know.
We were the only ones covering that shit back then.
Oh, they're all coming out of the woodwork now, J-Bone, which is good.
Yes,
everybody's excited for the new debut.
Yeah. So yeah, very excited to see what he does, to see how he evolves with the brand, what he can do in the ring, outside of the ring, and
I think you're going to see. I think that was a very, like when he got the T-shirt a couple weeks ago. It's like you felt it was about to be official. So glad that it is, because that's someone, once again, like still like regularly new to the business, but is working super hard on it. And J-Bone, with my a lot of the people that I'm real big fans of, like Moose and stuff like that, like people that weren't in the business, didn't like grow up in the business, decided to get into it, but really embraced it, put in the work to be the best they can be. And I think that's what BDE feels like to me, that he's going to put in that work to try to be the best he can be. Okay. And that could be X Division champion, maybe more than that. Who knows? Like because you look at him now after, and obviously our cover boy that we'll be talking about, Leon Slater, to get to those heights so quick in TNA. I like, once again, like, and that's obviously a very, very skilled individual. But you see a lot of those flashes from BDE, and he's I like to say he's lanky, J-Bone. Like he's one of those guys that looks like he can do, like you're seeing, I think, just the tip of his potential right now.
Oh yeah. Like I see BDE, and I see like a stripped down version of what Javon Evans has become over the last few years. Javon Evans, who just debuted on the main roster on was it Raw? Yeah, Raw. Man, dude, Raw is bouncy. I'm stoked.
Raw is bouncy.
I am excited to see what this kid is gonna do. He is all over the place, very similar to, our poster boy right here, Leon Slater. So, both same age, talent level is there. let's go, man. It's
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see what both do. I'm not saying that they're the exact same, but they have tagged together. They have similarities. And just to watch them grow over the next few years together to see what they do is going to be fun. But yeah, so very excited for BDE signing. Brandon does everything. I gotta drill that into my head. Oh man, out with the bad brain cells, in with the good ones.
Get rid of those dub-dubs.
No, actually, those are in the bag down here. I got a whole bag just sitting down here, just ready to go. I gotta fill up my container over here. We're gonna start a whole new lollipop.
The new AMC era of dub-dubs.
Yes, it's coming, Bill. It's coming. But like CJ Martin here says, BDE is a Sammy Callahan mentored project as well. Works Wrestling Revolver, getting in reps there. Okay. And this week's explosion at Killer Kelly versus Myla Grace with Harley Hudson. See, now that's what I want to watch, because I'm very excited for Myla Grace and Harley Hudson. Like, I saw those two debut a few months ago, and I was like, that right there. That's sometimes you just you see someone once and you're just like, oh, that right there. That's I want to see more of that.
J-Bone's like, I'm tuning in.
I want to see these new international talents. I'm very excited for them. So Nora says, I love watching Explosion on Tuesdays on YouTube. So yeah, Tuesdays on YouTube, and then it airs a few days earlier. I believe it's Fridays on the TNA Plus. I almost said AMC Plus.
But he's ready.
I'm so ready. Okay, so we talked about departures. We talked about debuts, signings. The mayor says, J-Bo, do you have some explaining to do after what happened last night with Oba? Yeah, well, we're getting to that. We're getting to that. I got some opinions on that.
Opinions.
We got opinions.
That's what we're here for.
So do you want to go there next?
Let's go there.
Okay, let's go there. Last night was New Year's Evil. And it was kind
evil.
Ooh. Wow. It was an NXT special. Not one of their bigger pay-per-views. It was, in-house special.
Center.
Yeah. In-house. So
wasn't on the road, one of those on the road shows.
No. But it did feature some championship matches, which was very exciting. It featured some possible new rivalries to come. Like I was kind of laughing when Ethan Page was in the ring and 12 other guys showed up one after the other. And he's just like, what the hell's going on here? That was hilarious. It's like, wait, who's coming after who? What? Who's doing what? And at the same time, I'm like, while all this is happening right before the main event, which we're talking about, I'm like, you're taking away from Oba Femi versus Leon Slater. All right, everybody get the hell out of the ring. Come on. Jiminy Christmas. I actually heard someone in the store today say, Jiminy Christmas. I almost laughed out loud. Got a reaction out of J-Bone. All right. So Leon Slater was going after Oba Femi's NXT title. I feel the match was great. Bill, I'm going to get to you in a second, but I'm going to get this off my chest. I was okay with Slater losing. Okay, because I mean,
I know we're gonna have the issue.
I really wanted him to win. It just made sense. I'm like,
it made. I'll say this: it made sense to us.
Right.
It made sense to TNA fans.
It did, because AMC is starting next week, and what better way to start out your AMC?
You really want to show the partnership. You have that WWE vibe with that as well. So I figure, I think as us, we're thinking, how would you not want that if you're in WWE?
You want to feature Leon Slater. You could have NXT people coming after the World Championship. You could also have TNA people coming after the X division, because it'd be just a massive target on Leon Slater. It would put some pressure on him, but it'd be a great way to see what this kid could do and to see what they could work around him.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't get that. The match was great. It was a lot of fun. I figured it'd be a lot of Femi beating him down, doing his thing, because that's what Femi does. He's a big guy. He's powerful. He's a beast. He's a monster. But then you'd have some comeback moments, the athleticism of Leon Slater, the quickness,
mm-hmm.
But it wasn't to be. So he lost, and I was like, okay. I didn't like it, but I accepted it. Here's what got me. Seconds later, there's a backstage segment, and some people are talking to Ava backstage, and all of a sudden, Robert Stone.
The shocker of the night, Robert Stone appears.
Yeah. Well, he was in earlier, but it was real cool. Like, if you blinked, you missed it.
But they gave that's like a big moment they gave him. So.
Yeah. And he's all of a sudden like, Ava, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to. And she's like, what? What the hell do you want? And he's like, what Femi just did in the ring. And all of a sudden the camera switches from backstage to a spotlight in the center of the ring showing only the NXT title by itself laid down in the spotlight. So
that's him gone, because we know they've been doing vignettes for him appearing on the main roster,
right?
So it just seemed timing wise, and I don't know if that was more. Well, I'm sure there's reasons. We'll go into it, but finish your opinion on this ending, J-Bo.
So my thought was like, what is the point? What is the point of him being like, and okay, so I understand you want to keep him looking strong going into the main roster. I get that. But there's other ways to do it to write him off the NXT roster. You could send him on his way like he did here. Like, oh, big, powerful, defended my title. Oh, now I'm disappearing. Where will I go? You'll have to keep watching to find out. Here's where I'm upset about it to a point. Was like, why did you have him win and then seconds later drop the title and walk out? That just, to me, it felt like a slap in the face to TNA. And I have been very supportive of a lot of the decisions that other fans have been just disgusted with. Like, oh, they're doing this to TNA again, blah, 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 blah. And I haven't said that once. At least to my knowledge, I haven't said that once. But tonight, I'm saying it. Because I was like, damn. It's like, if you wanted to have this partnership looks like it's really meaning something, and yeah, the stuff with Stacks is fun and it's entertaining. It's going to be interesting to see where this power couple of Stacks and Ariana Grace goes between NXT to TNA, and we saw a little bit of that, but I'm not even going to talk about that because it's not worth discussing. And I mean, not worth discussing of how he was featured on the show last night. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. I don't mean as a whole on TNA. No, TNA is fine. But yeah, so to me, I was like upset that Leon Slater lost, and then, oh, well, I'm just going to leave the title here and walk away. That's what I was like. Well, I didn't. What do you think, Bill?
All right. Well, I'll agree with you partially, J-Bo.
Okay.
Because once again, but I will admit, I'm looking at this from a TNA angle.
Right.
Like I think Leon should have won. I think that would have been the best for both brands' business. I agree. That's my belief, especially if you are of the belief with your conspiracies that Leon Slater is just going to wind up there in the next few years. So it doesn't hurt you because he'll eventually be under your thing anyway. So that shouldn't, like, all you're doing is elevating Leon Slater. But once again, so that might, if you want to look on a silver lining, maybe that means Leon Slater is here for a couple years still, not just like what some people think. Oh, he'll be gone in 6 months or by the end of the year at most. Like maybe he's here for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay, there's that. And I see people in the chat mention it. Why? Because Femi lost to Ricky Starks and then he won it back, right?
Correct.
Why?
Well, Trick was in there too, wasn't he?
Oh, was it? Did he not take the? But he's lost matches. He hasn't been undefeated the whole time.
Right.
Like he wasn't like an undefeated streak. You're running the whole thing.
No, and in fact, Femi even disappeared for a while.
Yeah, so I don't think you needed to have like the undefeated streak type thing because he didn't have one. So I get if they were going for that logic. So once again, I think he should have. But now let's go into from their perspective though, because this is where I'll agree. I think he should have won it. So I don't think that was the right call. Right. But let's now look at it from their perspective. But I do want to address where you said like the slap in the face.
Yeah,
that I don't think at all.
Okay,
you still got to remember this is not a PLE, but one of their big shows. Okay, NXT.
It kicks off the year. Yeah,
it kicks off their thing, and a TNA talent, the X Division champion, was in the main event. That's like kind of saying the TNA moment of the year, which was Joe Hendry, TNA World Champion, losing to Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and there were TNA fans that said, "Oh, our champion lost. I don't care."
Yeah,
he was at WrestleMania.
No, that's
a complete, like, that's a much bigger thing.
Yeah,
but same principle. You got to look at what it is in the moment. So I'm not going to ever say like that's a slap in the face or like too much. Disagree with it. I think it could have been handled better.
Yeah.
But now looking at it from their perspective, because obviously this is going to probably be a tournament or some type of contender battle royale or something that they're trying to get a talent over.
Right.
Now we got to look at also what's happened recently. They just lost a ton of talent to the main roster NXT.
And still,
it's looking a little barren on the main event scene. They need to establish some new stars stat.
Oh, yeah.
So putting a TNA guy front and center, I can kind of get it a little bit.
Yeah.
If they didn't elevate like 4 roster members just now, I could see Leon getting the belt more likely. But that they just infused Trick, Oba, Javon, it's too much of their main event scene just left. Yeah. So I kind of get the idea to establish new stars. Now, once again, will they be able to do it? I don't know. But they're thinking if they put a title, if they strap someone up, maybe it has a better chance of working. And then the last thing is NXT has had a lot of success, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people get over. A lot of people then get promoted. And what happens on the main roster? A lot of them don't succeed.
Yeah.
I think they're, to be frank, more have failed than succeeded on the main roster to the levels I think they want them to get to.
Yeah.
It like now I'm not talking the old school day. Like you're going back in NXT history. I'm talking of the last handful of years. It's been tougher, I think, for a breakthrough. So I think they're trying to handle
Yeah.
these guys, this class, we'll call them, that they're promoting, like with obviously Trick Williams, Femi, Javon Evans. They want this to be a very successful crop of future stars in WWE.
Yeah.
So I think they're being careful. Like if they like, and who knows, we'll see. Based on this, my assumption is they're gonna skyrocket Femi right now in the main roster.
It's
And
yeah.
that will make it make a little more sense.
Yeah.
But if he's jobbing out in like a month, then I'm gonna be like, oh, that was a horrible decision.
Yeah.
I'll be more on your side, J-Bo.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Yeah. And look, and I'm a big fan of Obafemi. I'm a big fan of Trick. Yeah, you know how big of a fan of Trick Williams I am. Dude. He showed
Trick
up.
Williams, Trick Williams. Like I felt I was going anti TNA for a while because I was such a fan of Trick Williams.
Right. Trick and A. Let's talk about it.
But Trick, once again, Trick is so unique. He was a unicorn here because he was NXT, but man, did he embrace it. Like, and I already saw it, but I'll tell you the thing was the softball game during Slammiversary weekend that he shows up to totally embraces being like, he was TNA that day. Like if you told me he worked, I didn't believe you. He worked for NXT. He worked for TNA that day.
Yeah.
So those like you don't see that from other people that are just showing up from somewhere else.
Right.
You know that they're a mercenary in a way that is just showing up. He embraced being part of that locker room. So I give him like he's aces in my book.
Yeah. And when he showed up to face off against Sami Zayn on SmackDown and he's all looking pimped out in that big white coat, I'm like, oh, Trick, dude. Trick, he's gonna kill it on the main roster, man. He's gonna kill it. So yeah, to see what guys like Javon Evans, Obafemi, Trick, they're all gonna and now and even on the women's side, Jordan Grace looks like she's gonna join SmackDown. I'm so excited to see what she's gonna do, and it's like, and it's little things like here and there. Like she was in a couple promos. They didn't just throw her out there. But, oh, here's someone else that's new, and this is her first match. And no, they're just okay. No, they're putting them on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, here's a new face. Okay, cool. Let's see what they do. I'm so excited, Yeah, last night was really interesting. And Bill, this is why I love you being part of the show, because what you said does totally make sense, And I agree with you, and we can agree to disagree on stuff.
Yeah,
but
like once again,
I totally see your side of it.
I was on this show with you for 2 weeks once that match was announced.
Yeah.
Like I convinced myself that Trick that Leon was gonna trick everyone and win that match.
Yeah.
Because once again, we knew Obafemi, and that's another thing. You look at the booking, it's like, well, Oba's definitely leaving. What are we gonna do? So it just felt so natural with everything going on.
Yeah.
But I can see the other side. I'm not gonna say it's not there. But once again, I still don't. I think it would have been better to strap up Leon still.
Yeah.
I think, once again, for both companies, I do think it. But I will admit the TNA bias in that, because I can see it from their angle the other way. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. And I know that one thing that I know I skimmed over and I saw in the chat. Yes, I now that I'm remembering when Stax was out there and he was talking about facing, I think it was Ethan Page, and he came out there with the TNA title. Shiloh, what's his name? Shiloh Hill, one of the new guys, came out there and challenged Stax for the TNA International title, and I guess they're going to face off thank you for the reminder. They are going to face off next week on NXT television.
Okay.
For the TNA International title. And what happened in the ring between Ariana Grace and Shiloh Hill,
Ooh.
because he grabbed her and he dipped her, and as he dipped her, here's just a quick rewind here. Shiloh Hill lost one of his front teeth couple months ago, and got a nice looking partial that he puts in there. And well, as he dipped Ariana Grace, his partial, I mean, he made it fall, but it fell out of his mouth and landed on her. And she went, she absolutely freaked out. And I lost my shit. I laughed my ass off when I saw that, because I like Shiloh Hill. I've been watching him here and there, and I see something in him. Because to me, I'm like, okay, Roman Reigns and Bo Dallas got together and had a kid, and it's Shiloh Hill. Put that on a t-shirt. But yeah, I am excited to see what Shiloh Hill and Stacks do in the ring together. So yeah. There's you know, we could say there's pros and cons to what have happened, what's happened over the last few weeks, the last night, whatever. But all in all, I think, you know, we can both agree that we are super excited for what's coming on AMC. Let's talk for a few minutes before we get out of here about a few new things that have popped up on social media as far as free agents.
Oh, yeah, because you know me, J-Bone. A lot of times I won't, like, I have to feel pretty strongly about a free agent to really weigh in heavily. Because, like I always say, TNA has a 2-hour TV show, an explosion.
Yeah.
And they use the entire roster, which not most companies can say.
Yeah.
So you have to people have to go and get replaced, or you got to be careful. You can't just be like, let's sign everybody, which everybody wants to do. There's a tendency to, every time someone's available, sign them. The company I like.
Yeah.
That's not how you do it, because like we see what happens.
It's not
There's
possible.
companies that do that. Yeah. And companies that do that, they just put them on ice because they don't know what to do with them. You got to have a plan for it. But we'll go over it. But there's definitely one name that I have an extreme amount of interest in. It's probably obvious, but there's two right now, because I mentioned one last Thursday.
Right.
But there's a new one that came out since then that I'd also be 100% like the call's already out there to bring in.
Okay. So I'll mention this name. I don't know if it's on your list, but I did hear that Tommaso Ciampa is becoming or has become a free agent. Now,
yeah, but I thought I heard somewhere his deal was ending. I wasn't sure when.
Right.
But
that's the thing. We're not sure when things are happening on that, because I haven't heard any specifics. And most of the time when you hear specifics, it's like,
I'd be surprised if he left, but that's not the name I was thinking.
No, I know, and it just popped up in the chat here. So, but no, we're gonna get to that. The reason why I brought up Tommaso Ciampa is because, number one, he's from my hometown.
Yes,
and I gotta support the Milwaukee guys, even though, you know.
Yeah, I was a big fan of his back in his Ring of Honor days when I saw him.
And it's funny because when he was in Ring of
back then,
when he was in Ring of Honor, the Psycho, the Psycho Italian or whatever he was called. Oh my God. And I'm thinking he's like really, I mean, I bought into the whole, okay, he's from Italy. They brought him in internationally. I'm buying it. And I was ignorant to it. I just didn't know he was from Milwaukee. The night I found out he was from Milwaukee, and was like, what? Was when I went to Jeff Jarrett's Global Force Wrestling show in Appleton, Wisconsin, just north of where I live now. And there was a ton of established talents, a ton of legends. It will say indie darlings that showed up on the show. It was a great mix. The show was so much fun. I will to this day, as far as experiences, I will still put it in my top 3.
The Sicilian Psychopath.
Yeah, the Sicilian Psychopath. Thank you. That's what they call him. But all of a sudden, I don't think he was advertised, but he showed up for a match. And I can't even remember if I met him or not, because I met so many people, and it was all part of like the VIP deal. You got to meet everyone. It was like, what? It was so much fun. But he got introduced.
You went Wayne's World. You're like, badges? You're walking in.
Yeah. And I got pictures with all of them. I was so excited. And when they introduced him, and I can't remember who he faced in the ring, but anyways, when they introduced him, they're like, Tommaso Ciampa from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm like, what? He's from Milwaukee? I'm like, stop. I'm like, no, this is the Sicilian Psychopath. I'm like, and this is like between Ring of Honor and NXT. I think that's where this all fell in.
Well, he did a very brief. I think he did one loop of TNA.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well, that has to be like 2015.
Yeah. That'd be right about 2015. Yeah.
Like right when things were kind of weird and shaky, and yeah.
It's like, hey, look who it is.
Right. And but that's when I like really got invested with Tommaso Ciampa. I was like, I already liked him, but when I found out he was from my hometown, I'm like, all in on this guy. So I think it's a possibility. He wants to go somewhere where he's going to be featured more. And when he was in NXT, he was the king, 2-time NXT champ. Yeah. Gets to the main roster. Yeah, he's had his injury.
Yeah, he got stuck in the tag team. Like he got labeled a tag team guy.
Right. And he never got away from that. And I felt like with this last run with the whole United States Championship, I really felt like that was like a move in the right direction, but then all of a sudden he disappeared. And it was like, it's he was wearing the t-shirt, I'm not a jackass, or whatever it was, and I thought that was funny. But
I'm not against it. I think that like he could be. I just don't know if it's a fit. I have a feeling like if he does leave, which I'm still not convinced he's gonna leave. Yeah. I feel like that could be somebody they wanna, like, Jacksonville might want to put a lot of ROH TV money into, well, Honor Club money into, because of the Ring of Honor history. I have a feeling that could play a big part.
And I get that
as like a big Ring of Honor history guy to kind of supplant a lot of the non Ring of Honor. Once again, I think Ring of Honor people say it's dead. Like Ring of Honor hasn't existed in a long time.
It just doesn't have a huge
the old
online
corpse.
presence.
It's the old corpse. Well, yeah, there's no TV. There's no TV for it.
Right. And, and what they do show on YouTube is like sporadic. So it's so yeah. We'll see. I mean,
I just don't think that's likely. And once again, it's not official. I wait until it's official.
Right.
So not the name, J-Bone.
Yeah.
Maybe you're bringing the name soon that I'm thinking of.
Well,
let's just say maybe it's trending.
Oh.
The trend.
Well, I know it was already. It was it was dropped in the chat a little bit ago. The name I think you're thinking of, and now that I'm thinking of, is Matt Taven.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm already putting the call in, J-Bone.
Oh,
Bring them back. We haven't seen them, obviously. We had the Honor No More, but we had the Kingdom for a bit. And you know my feelings on the Kingdom. I'm a big Kingdom guy.
yeah.
But as of now, I'm surprised. I don't know what for him to be a free agent, and I don't know if it's because of like injury or not being available for a bit, like Mike and Maria, like that they're not. But and I don't know. With obviously on the Indies, Taven and Bennett are still tagging a ton.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Taven wants to be more singles or potentially tag into the future. But yeah, I'm 100% on board. I think it as either act, a singles or in more. I think Taven would be a perfect fit in TNA because he can do like he could go X Division, like a bigger guy for the X Division.
Yeah.
But he can go singles. Hey, he main evented Madison Square Garden, J-Bone.
This is true.
Not the theater.
The
MSG. Garden. I was there.
Well, he was champ at that time, wasn't he? Wasn't he ROH? Yes. Who did he face? Because I'm trying to remember.
Well, it was it was a 3-way with Okada. It was loaded. That was the.
Was Cole in there?
Was he the third? He may have actually been the third.
I know Enzo made an appearance.
Oh yeah, that's what you took away from that show, J-Bone. I know you.
My name is Enzo. Oh, here comes security. Big Bill was in there too, wasn't he?
Yeah, 3-way ladder match. Taven, well, he beat Jay Lethal, was champion. And thou shalt not be named Marty Scurll at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because then it was Okada versus Jay White. Because all the titles changed at the
I know Marty Scurll's been doing more like international stuff.
Yeah, he's got his thick, the British Umbrella guy. Great answer. Great answer.
That's funny. Yes, Bell's Boy. Yes, Matt Taven, Mercedes Martinez, and Alex Abrahantes gone from AEW.
Now
Alex was the manager.
Yeah, I don't want to knock anybody, but no interest in him.
Well, he was the manager.
He was a hype man.
Yeah. I don't get
hype man as a manager. I don't get it at all. I understand what it was. It was for the language barrier,
right?
But the way it came off, like there's certain things like that was just one of those things. It just doesn't come off good.
It was for Penta and Phoenix, right?
It was, but then it was for every luchador.
Okay.
He started accompanying almost any luchador.
Okay.
But he seems like a very nice guy. Because when I was doing the run in AEW, seems like a very nice guy, but I just don't get that gimmick at all. Like that gimmick.
Well, especially to me didn't make sense when Penta went like dark and he was Penta Oscuro or whatever he was, and he wasn't necessarily a bad guy, but he had like almost the who's that guy that's gone back and forth between Zelina Vega's hubby, Tommy End?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell's his name?
Who? What?
The guy that, can't think of his name. No. Nah, he's got the funny eye. He just had a huge ambulance match with Martinez.
All right, you're asking me way too much about that promotion. But we got a super chat, J-Bone. Bell's Boy.
Oh, Bell's Boy. Thank you. Go ahead.
$10 super chat. Hello, guys. It was a 3-way match for the ROH title between ROH champion Jay Lethal, Marty Scurll, and Matt Taven, which Taven won the title at Ring of Honor New Japan Super Show in 2019.
2019.
But that's my guy. Bring him on board.
Hell yeah.
He was here before. I think that makes a ton of sense. He has history here, fairly recently history. So, I love the references in here. We get Critical Sting. Why you got to give the Palmer treatment? No, I'm not giving him I gave him different than a Palmer treatment because we know Palmer. Like, if you know TNI, you know Palmer. That was more because of his actions, knowing he was on camera. This is more like I think the guy. I'm fine with the guy. It's just that act. I'm not a fan of that gimmick. Because once again, I don't think it adds anything to the presentation. Right. I think it takes away from the presentation. I think it actually takes away from the wrestlers in the ring. Like, I don't need that, especially the whole gimmick of it's just wrestling. Like, that's what they focus on. So doesn't make much sense. Like, they've been doing it forever. Like, if like people that can communicate and can't communicate, you figure it out in the ring. You can still do it. So,
right.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn, I was trying to find the picture real quick that I got. I took with Taven and Bennett and Maria.
Oh, I have a bunch of pictures from back in the day of Miracle Mike and Maria.
Yeah.
Like there's like, once again, and Taven put him right in there with him, but like, nicest people like you'll meet in the business.
Here, found it. I'll do a little share screen of Rooney. This is one of the when I made a poster of from like this time of this year. Mm-hmm. This was one of my cute when I met these guys. Super nice. Give me a second here. Share screen of Rooney. Here we go. Love this moment. Look at that.
Yeah. Classic. So that's the Honor No More era. That's Chicago.
It is. That's Chicago. That's Honor No More. And I said to Taven, I said, man, me and my crew love what you guys are doing. We hope you stick around. And yeah, they were kind of in and out. They weren't around real long. Some of them stuck around. Some of them didn't. Like PCO stuck around. But the rest of them all went on their way after a while. But
yeah, like Kenny King stuck around a little longer.
Yeah,
they stuck around a little bit longer, but then obviously went to.
And I get it. I get it. You know, money talks. I get it. You know, and I can't.
That's the problem. But hey, he did win they did win the tag titles here.
Yeah,
the Kingdom. It wasn't a long run, but they did have a run.
And when I think they faced off against it was the Good Brothers, wasn't it?
I think it was. But we do actually got to mention like Vincent, because if you know your Kingdom history on the Indies, which I do in Northeast Wrestling, Vinny Marseglia, Vincent, was part of that.
He was
OG Kingdom.
Honor No More. And I was going to say something that I totally forgot.
That was a good gimmick. I like that.
It was fun. I like.
It wasn't executed perfectly, because once again, and this is, and I said this at the time on the show, the thing they could have utilized even more, there were two angles that they utilized, but they could have done more with. And it was Macklin during that feud, and it was Gresham during that feud.
Yeah.
And I believe, FYI on Gresham, because he had that health scare, but he's about to go back. Like, I think his first match is this month.
Oh, really?
like his return match. So obviously wishing the Octopus the best.
Where
The
is it at?
Foundation. I'm not sure. I don't, because I know he had his own company, but I don't know if it's with them or not.
Oh yeah, that was hot for a while.
It was, but then I think when he was getting busy with other stuff, he just wasn't doing it as much.
Yeah. Well, it was a partnership, wasn't it? Didn't he have it was with someone else that it was kind of him and someone else?
Speaking of AMC and The Walking Dead, wasn't it? I think it was Terminus was the name of the promotion.
Okay.
Or something like Terminus.
Yeah. Yeah. And when Santana came back to wrestling, I know he was featured a lot on there, Mike Santana.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the indies he went to.
Beyond Wrestling is his return match.
Oh, okay. West Coast, right? Isn't it? Or am I thinking of someone else? Or is that East Coast?
Beyond is usually on the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm thinking of someone else because I know there's a couple featured around the Washington State area, and I can't. Was that? Oh no, that's Defy.
You were thinking Defy. Yeah, this is the one up in like Massachusetts.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah. So, kudos.
So yeah, Taven. Would love to see Taven return. And I have no clue how Bennett's doing.
Yeah, like once again, I won't speculate until there, but obviously if Taven's here, obviously that could have that door open when available. But I'll always be a Miracle Mike guy and Maria guy. So like once again, those are like open door policies I have with them. So I'm on board with that. And then obviously it was kind of announced when we had our last Thursday show. But I got to bring it up again. The return of EC3.
Oh, yeah.
On the table. Because that's obviously a focus. I saw Matt Hardy going over the match back from Bethlehem, PA, where EC3 beat him for the belt. My debut of the EC3 suit, because that's when I picked it up. So no, I was so yeah, like having that, run that back again, but then do a lot of new stuff. I'd be on board with that.
Yeah. Would love to see EC3. So yeah, there's a handful of free agents that I think would be great picks for TNA. Now let's go on the ladies' side just for a second, because I know Mercedes Martinez was one of those names. Excuse me. As far as now being gone from AEW, Mercedes Martinez did spend a little time in TNA.
She had a little run, but she, I think, pretty much said this is her last year.
Oh, okay.
So I think she's going to do like indies she wants to do. But my guess is she's going to hit all the places because she's like indie legend, Mercedes Martinez.
She is.
Like she was doing like post divas indie scene, like with like. She was making those rounds back then. Like you're talking like what, the mid 2000s, it feels like. Kind of like it was, that's what she was breaking on the scene. And it was like she was the one, like Bryan Danielson, the Briscoe brothers were Ring of Honor. And like you were like, well, who's the best women's wrestler? Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah. And I feel like I really missed a majority of her career. And I'm trying to remember where the hell I saw her first. I don't even remember.
She was mainly on the indies. You would not have seen her unless you were going to shows or tape trading or like early ways on the internet.
Yeah. Like, well, she was featured a lot early with AEW, wasn't she? Or am I thinking of something else?
Where?
Was it AEW? or was it?
Well, no, she did show up a little bit on AEW, but that was more but honestly, there wasn't a lot of places she was showing up.
I was trying to think
she signed with WWE. She was on I forget where she got to. Like, I assume she was on NXT. She was on NXT, I believe.
She was for a little bit. I was trying to think where she was like before she did her stint in TNA, where I saw her before.
Yeah, she was in WWE. Like, she was a performance center, and I'm not sure exactly. Like, I have to go back on that, but she definitely showed. But I think that's where more people are like, oh, they signed Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's all fuzzy to me where I saw, but yeah, it could have been NXT. But I know she has a plethora of history way before that. I just haven't seen it, So, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, maybe she'll do a short run to wrap it up. Who knows? We'll see. But I know she's
against it.
She's uber talented.
Yeah, hey, if she wants to show up for a loop, I'd be on board with that.
Yeah. As far as any other possible knockouts, they hired so many this last year. I really don't know. I know I saw Tommy Dreamer in a in an interview a couple months ago, and it was right after they hired all those knockouts, and he basically said in the interview, "We're not hiring anyone right now." But then
they're kind of loaded up. They're kind of loaded up. So you got to look at like very specific. Like I'm kind of saying right now, like Matt Taven, EC3. Once again, but a BDE, yes, sign him. Like if you can get me like young potential like guy on the indie scene or something, or woman, those are always possibilities.
Yeah.
Or someone with that I can almost like EC3. I know how I'm using them immediately. Matt Taven, I know how I'm going with them immediately.
Yeah.
So like those are easier choices. Some of these other people, you got to figure it out. And it's like, okay, then you got to compare like what you're spending versus what you're getting out of it.
Right.
It becomes like that's the one thing as TNA is getting bigger now again. You got to be more careful because you can get yourself into trouble by making bad decisions.
Yeah.
Like when you're spending more money and making bad decisions, it hurts you a lot more than when you're spending a lot less money. If you do make a bad decision, you can probably get out of it. Here, you might be stuck.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely have some possibilities for new faces in the future. By all means, if you're watching this on the repeat, on a rerun, drop in the comments. Who do you want to see as far as fresh faces for this brand in the AMC debut of TNA? I think there's a possibility for a few. They got this new deal that still hasn't been really put out there in the public, and I'm okay with that. We don't have to know absolutely everything. We've seen the curtain pulled back a million times.
The only thing is like Carlos Silva when he was doing his early round of interviews when they were looking at this. He did give kind of a figure he was looking for.
Yeah.
Like he was looking for about 10 million a year. Like this kind of was they were looking for. So the reports that had no validity to them just assumed they got what he was asking for.
Yeah.
I honestly think, I have a belief, they did a little better than that. So once again, it doesn't matter though. I really don't care. I just care on where they're at and how many people are going to be able to see them. That's the key. Now, and I know some people are throwing some more names in there, and their names.
That's great. Load it up.
I like that Nikki Blackheart. Once again, now that's somebody that's not been in the business that long, but you can tell it factor, ton of potential, powerhouse, Jordan Grace like powerhouse.
Oh,
definitely interested. Definitely interested in someone like that for like more of that indie. And we saw like Man Like DeReese. Like he does, like he sings his own song out, very athletic from the UK. That's a guy that we already saw him in TNA. definitely. Like he'd fit in like a glove, and I think he has history with Leon as well.
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, like that would so there's definitely names. Like I'm open to names. But like I know people like they'll just throw every name out there, and hey, some are gonna hit, some are, but like you want them to have the best potential in TNA to bring them in. There's no point to bringing in people if it ain't gonna work for everybody. So there's definitely some, but once again, a lot of the roster is loaded. So it's almost like who's not gonna be here. Just FYI, to give you an idea on maybe some early pushes, they announced the meet and greets for Dallas. So obviously the Hardys, no doubt. Mike Santana, Frank the King Kazarian, Nick Nemeth, Ash by Elegance, BDE. I think that might be his first official meet and greet.
Probably.
Moose, Lei Ying Lee.
Now that's interesting because Moose, as popular as he is, he doesn't do a lot of meet and greets.
He doesn't do them all the time, but remember, he was a heel with the system during a lot of that.
Yeah.
But he does do them from time to time. Like, I won't say he doesn't, but he does do them, but not as much as some others, maybe.
Like, I remember that one time. I don't remember what run it was. I think it was somewhere in the midst. It wasn't the pay-per-view, but one of the shows we went to in Chicago. It was real random. It was supposed to be Jody Threat, and then Trey Miguel. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Moose came down and was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Hey, Moose is here too. I'll take it." You know, he just jumped up on the apron and was like,
"There you go, you get Moose."
Love it. So yeah,
but just because I think sometimes it can be telling on who's being promoted. So obviously, Mustafa Ali, but here Mara Sade in Dallas, and I'm sure she'll be a meet and greet when they go to New Mexico. So I could see the early big push for Mara Sade. Like, I know I've said it, she's a future champ, maybe sooner than expected. And then obviously Leon Slater and Texas, both Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford.
Okay,
maybe Victoria Crawford's first meet and greet since joining the company.
She looks like she's so much fun.
She's great.
Now this is interesting. Gary Rossetti here says, "What happened to Alexia Nicole?" Now, who is that?
The Bubblegum Princess. If you remember your IPWF, she was in like kind of the 4 horsewomen type group, the Rough Riders.
Oh, was that the one from Canada?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So, didn't she got injured shortly after that? Didn't she, or something?
She was injured for a bit, and obviously it played in that. Obviously, she's Canada based, but not that stops a lot of Canada talent. But I feel like whoever was pushing her at the wanted her to be more part of the roster.
Yeah.
Is obviously not with the company anymore. So that because it felt like there was like a push. That it felt like she could have been like a mainstay on the roster, and maybe like today she would have, because she kind of has. I don't like to compare them like wrestlers too much, but almost like a modern like Xia Brookside. She was like a Xia Brookside of back then, but maybe they didn't think there was a fit naturally on the roster.
Okay.
But yeah, she does Maple Leaf, so obviously she's just Scott Moore, like pretty much. Like I'm
there
sure
we go, Scott D'Amore. Yeah.
But like I said, but he was here. Like obviously he was here for a while, and they didn't bring her back. So.
And what was this? I don't want to get too far down here. Joe Alonzo. He does a lot of AAW in Chicago, doesn't he?
I'm very mixed on Joe Alonzo.
Okay. I know he was a big Sammy Guevara guy. He was like in his vlogs for like forever. And then,
he can talk. He can talk.
He
but
did.
Man, he doesn't look like a wrestler.
he kind of looks.
He looks like a kid. Like he looks like a kid off the street. Like he's not. I don't want to get into specifics. He just does not look like a wrestler. I hate to say someone's too small. He's too small.
Okay.
Like you just got to be super athletic if you're that size. But like I said, he can talk. So he could have a role, but it's just like maybe he's a manager. Maybe he's like I just don't know in ring and I know there's a lot of people that have like I've seen him a handful of times, but I like I said, he's a great talker. It's just I think he's too limited on Critical Sting. I'm issuing bombers left and right.
Nice,
Bomber.
Nice. Dakota Kai, I see some mentions. Okay. All right. Maybe.
I feel like she's been out there so long. I don't know. Look, you got 2 cats for the price of 1 tonight.
Oh my God.
TNI show.
What is that? Right. Okay. That's my Rocky. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Dakota Kai hasn't shown up anywhere yet.
Because how long? Like, I feel like she's been a free agent for like a year.
It was springtime? I want to say it was last spring.
So not quite a year, but it's been a while. It feels like that's a long time in wrestling time to be like, because you got to capitalize quick. Like I feel like she doesn't even like do bookings. So I don't like. I almost feel like does she want it? I don't know. Maybe it just feels like she's not out there.
Maybe she's just waiting for the right opportunity, and maybe she's just getting healthy. Because I know she went through some injuries.
Yeah, so that could always be part of the thing too. Definitely.
Critical Sting here. Attempt number 3,891 at getting subculture.
I wouldn't be against that either. There's the history there. I know they got documentation now, J-Bone. So the issues of before wouldn't be there. And obviously, Mandrews has a long history with the company. And obviously, it'd be interesting because Danny Luna is part of, obviously, Subculture. And she's gone in a completely different direction right now. So
she is. She's breaking out on her own. She's doing great. She really is. I mean, I loved her as a tag team with Jody Threat because I felt like they worked well, with each other because they both had that kind of a rebellious punk rock kind of attitude.
Mm-hmm.
But Danny Luna's really broken away and has become evolved into just this almost, I want to say almost like a super Hulk heel version of Jordan Grace. Almost.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
agreed. It's good that there's Swack Fan was kind of a punk kid manager for Joe Alonzo, so he's like the same thinking. Well, and hey, and who knows? Hey, maybe like I said, that's why I think he is doing a good job because it's like looking at a guy like that and to be such an arrogant heel, it's like you got to really buy into your own hype. But it's like you're you. How can you be this? It's one thing when I don't think she's she's obviously not a free agent.
She's got time left on her contract.
But she obviously doesn't feel like she's sticking around there. It doesn't feel like.
No. I'd love to see her, but I know that it's a mixed bag of opinions on her. I'm a huge Britt Baker fan. I don't know. Yeah, there's some names out there.
Yeah, so there's a lot, but once again, like there's a lot of names. I think there's a lot of you could see like a lot of them have good potential, but once again, I think it's a big thing of what would be the plan for them. I think that's what you got to figure out, and if you're gonna commit to something more of a longer term or one of those, let's do something for a couple loops, 3 months, 6 months. See how it works out. And we'll see how much they differ on some of those plans this new year with AMC. Will they want more commitments from people, which is always a hot topic with TNA, because there really is there are a lot of these other companies they lock you down long term.
Yeah.
But TNA, but I think it's a benefit of TNA. They not only don't lock you down long term, a lot of them are options, but they'll like if they know somebody doesn't want to be there,
yeah,
they'll say, okay, fine.
Yeah.
We'll let you out. They're not playing these games unless once again, but that was old management, like where and we haven't even mentioned the infamous name this whole time, Killer Cross. We've been I haven't heard one person in the chat mention him, so I don't know what that's saying to me right now.
Well, I think a lot of people assume he's just with MLW right now.
I don't think anybody assumes someone's just with MLW.
Well, like I've seen, like
if he wanted to go somewhere, he could leave MLW. He's not
probably
locked in anything. Like MLW ain't stopping him from going somewhere.
Well, the only thing I've ever seen where someone was actually like locked down in something was
maybe I was saying it.
Manser was stuck there for a bit.
Well, that was the time where they were doing their very low pay contracts for people that were getting them stuck. Like it was Mance, it was Davey Boy Smith Jr. Like there were a bunch of guys unhappy during that era of MLW. But it feels like that's not the case. I think they got away from those contracts.
I tell you what, if Cross comes back, that is going to be huge.
I hit the trifecta with Critical Sting tonight. I just palmered MLW. I did a bunch of MLW shows.
Well, and MLW's look, I'll say this: Cross's match with he just had a match with I know he just had a match with Cardona too, and that's on YouTube. I want to go watch that one, but it's Jesus, what the hell's like? God damn it, my brain's just brain farting tonight. It was like 2 months ago. Cross's first thing, he came back to MLW and faced.
Was it Battle Riot?
No,
you wouldn't know who he fought.
Right, yeah. Former WWE guy.
Oh, Bishop Dyer?
No. Matt Riddle, thank you.
Oh, Matt Riddle.
That was fun. That was fun. Very, very weird atmosphere show because it was like the ring was like on a stage and then it was like the audience. It was weird, but I don't know. But anyway,
Palmered is a thing. Only in TNI lore is Palmered a thing. You got to know your TNI history to know what Palmered is.
Yeah, it goes way back.
We might need some merch on Palmered. You've been palmered.
Ooh.
TNI.
Get the merch.
It was the scuttlebutt back then.
Yeah.
Was that the hardest? Was that my the old sound bite board? Was that my hardest I ever went on? Someone was the Palmer.
Yeah, probably.
It probably was. Just I still, and I a lot of people know who he is because we've been talking a ton of Revolver here. He had a huge run in Revolver.
Yeah,
and he is Mr. Athena.
Yeah. Bell's boy says Shane McMahon. Oh, jeez, Louise. It's got some deep cuts in there now.
Remember when that was the big hubbub on the internet with him and AEW? Because they ran into each other in one place, him and Tony. So like that was like the scuttlebutt for like
well, they had
like 6 months.
They had a meeting at an airport like office, and someone took a picture of it.
So it became like if it was like the today era of AI, you think it was all AI because everything's AI.
AI is getting crazy. There's a lot of positive and there's a lot of negative, but I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole nother show. But yeah, any last minute stuff? I think we should wrap it up. We've been on here long.
Wrap it up, J-Bone. No, like it's we'll be back tomorrow for a little Thursday, the last Impact on Access TV. So we'll call this the go home show. before the live, followed by Gary leaving with a little Manny Lemons and Sam Beal, the learning tree. You know I love that.
The permification.
So now a lot of good names. Like, because once again, you always say like there's still a lot of talent out there. There's almost too much talent out there. But once again, there's not enough room on these shows already in these other promotions, and there's not a ton of space in TNA either. Yeah. So we know there's a little bit of space because a couple people just left, but not a ton of space. So yeah, you almost got to hit one or two hard, maybe a developmental or two. So you got a couple spots to maybe play around with, but but we'll see because it's going to start happening. I guarantee we're getting some returns or debuts next Thursday. But a little more will probably become clear. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. Maybe there's a tease for the live episode tomorrow night.
And TNA is big on teases, and I'm surprised.
Wait for Kevin Martin to say, "Watch till the end."
Oh yeah, we haven't had that in a while.
I could see that tomorrow. Maybe throw a bumper on the end, the tease something. Maybe a countdown.
Who is going to break the walls down on the debut on AMC? There, I just pulled an Adam Pearce.
Or you could have that, or you could say, or like they could be heavy-handed with like, we could have some trouble next week.
Trouble. Trouble. Love it.
So a lot of things you could potentially tease. So I think they'll do something. I have a feeling they're not just going to go like off the air tomorrow without teasing a surprise for the next week.
Right. And it can't, and that's the thing is with a taped show, you can't do anything live like that because it'll instantly go out into the,
Correct.
the internet.
That's why you got to do it on commentary or a vignette. Like
right.
when they were like doing like the EC3 stuff and all
backstage
like, when he came, there's something, but I do like it because I always like, and these are reactions I want. I want Bell's Boy to say, no, Jericho's not coming to TNA.
Hell no.
And the likelihood, it's not likely.
No.
But it's not impossible.
No, like I said, that's the great thing about wrestling.
When Matt Hardy's saying it, anything's possible.
Oh, yeah. I think Bell's Boy is saying we got a better chance of seeing Matthew Palmer than Jericho. Is that what you're saying?
Be like Palmer.
Get the countdown and we get Palmer. Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
Well, I already lived through that experience, J-Bone. Bound for Glory, New York, Melrose Ballroom. Oh, that was the rumored show for Chris Jericho.
I know who you're talking about.
And we get the Chinless Wonder. Ellsworth.
He got booed out of the building.
It was just such an all-time flop. It's like like they ribbed it was like in the end, it's like let's just rib everybody. They didn't react well to the rib.
It's like why? Jerry Rossetti, next week will be a killer show. There you go.
Hey, they could say that. Maybe they'll say it could be a killer smoke show.
Ooh. Like the only thing I want to hear if they come back, and granted, I love Cross, but if we get some smoke show, shut up 5, a 10 is talking.
That's right.
Bring it back. Put that shit on a t-shirt. All right. We've had enough fun. Let's keep it under 2 hours. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Damn, I'm losing my voice. Excuse me.
Too much TNA talk.
Oh, my body's not used to it.
You're going to have a busy week. You're getting back-to-back TNI this week.
We are. I got to pace myself. So thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Like I said, if you're watching this on the replay, drop it in the comments. We want to hear everyone's opinions. Good, bad, funny, serious, whatever. Put it in there.
Give it Forget stars on matches. Give it Palmers now. How many Palmers you give it?
Oh my God. That could really get crazy.
We got to go back on the Twitch, J-Bone, and get the little what was it? The emoticons
Emojis?
or whatever, the emojis, and we got to get a little Palmer. Palmer.
There we go. I don't remember what the kid looks like. I got to look.
Oh, I remember. I remember. I think he's still fixing his hair for the camera. Security.
Oh, is that the guy that winked?
Well, no, that's the winker. Different people. There was Palmer and there was the winker. But they happened relatively close to each other.
We had one of them on the show, right? Wasn't it?
Well, we had the creeper on the show.
That's who we had.
That was yeah. I think you're thinking of the creeper, not the winker.
And he looked like was it? He looked like Kyle.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It was yeah.
Something, yeah. Oh God, this is some crazy shit. All right, thank you everyone for joining. We're out of here. Much love. We will see you mañana for the last Access TV TNA, the end of an era, starting a new era the following week. Much love, everyone. You guys know what to do. Smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of our content hits your screen. We'll see you. Damn, I'm rusty. What the hell am I doing? We don't know. Okay, here we go.